what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Daddy Everyday Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for following along on my podcast journey. So that you can keep up with everything, make sure you subscribe to Evan Vision on YouTube. Make sure you click that notification so you'll be one of the first to know when the episodes drop. Because, a brother struggling still with the social media thing. I swear I'm going to get better one day. Just not today. But so you guys will know before I even post it myself. But today's episode, we're going to deal with a parent's guide to work, family time, self-care. So now, a lot of tips I'm going to give in here, not only actionable tips, but I'm also going to give mindset tips, like the mindset you need to have to make these actionable steps make more sense. And it's very important that you understand before I even get started that it's you can't get a complete balance. Like, and you've heard previous episodes, whenever I talk about work-life balance, it's the idea of the balance part is really just trying to get everything, juggling everything kind of thing, so that you have everything in the air. That's the closest you're going to get to the balance. Everything's not going to get a fair amount of time each day. You just got to be conscious and intentional of making sure you schedule certain things. But that's what this is going to dive into, to help you guys have the steps you need. But the mindset is such an important thing. Mindset is important in anything, whether you're trying to lose weight, going to school, you got to have the right mindset. So it's not just about the steps, it's about the mindset as well. So I'm going to dive into this. All right, so I broke it into, 4 segments. And we'll see what applies to you and take what you need. So let me get into this, parents. All right, so segment 1, identifying your priorities. So this is about listing out what's important to you. Obviously, you'll be like family, work, your day job. Maybe you want to start a business, self-care, me time. Self-care, me time, I'll use interchangeably. But those are the important things that are in your life. So got that. Now, what are the important activities too? Like, like whether it's like saving up money, having that family time, like carving out time to just, be with the family, carving out time, that self-care time for yourself where you just relax and do whatever it is you want to do. Like listing those things out. We have to treat our life like a business. Like you need spreadsheets and all that stuff. Like for your financials, you need to run it like it's a business. Hey, this is what I got coming in. This is what's going out, to make sure that math is mathing. Same thing with your life. You need to write out, like, this is what I got going on. Utilize a calendar. I'm trying to get better at using my phone calendar. And I just realized I got some stuff I need to add in there. But utilizing all the countless tools that we have. Don't get bombarded by trying to use everything. Just find what works for you. I still use pad and pencil or pad and pen to jot down stuff. I'm trying to get better at putting it in my phone because I have my phone with me more than I have the pad with me. So I utilize both, to tell you the truth. But you need to list the things that are important to you and how you want to go about the day. Like, you got to take each day being intentional, block out time and stuff like that. So, listing, like I said, list your priorities. So we'll use 3 examples, 3 main focuses: family, work, self-care. All right. So the mindset you need to have for this is that don't strive for perfection in this. It's okay for things to not work out the way you want to. Just make sure you're learning along the way. Understand that everything can't be done perfectly. Embrace the imperfections. Focus on your progress. That's a very important thing. A lot of people feel when they come up short, they didn't win. But if you're going in the right direction, it shows that you're going to eventually win. It may not be in the time frame that you want, but progress is a good thing. It doesn't mean the race is over, but it means you're moving in the right direction. So embrace the progress and be willing to adapt to circumstances. You know, things change, you know, life happens, that kind of thing. So just be ready to shift gears if you need, pivot, and just adapt to the situation. Like you may have a plan and, you know, maybe you have to stay later at work, which now throws off the family time you have. You just got to be willing to adapt. Keep your family involved in things that are going on so they'll understand. But just be ready to adapt. So you have to keep that mindset, just being able to adapt to the situation. And the more you get comfortable to adapting, the better it'll get for you, because life is going to always happen and everything won't be laid out just like you want. Because I can have the perfect week planned out, and come Tuesday, everything gets thrown off the rails. So I have to adapt, pivot, so that I can still end the week where I wanted to end it. So just keep that in mind. Now, segment 2, now that we got the list of our priorities and the mindset of being ready to adapt, pivot if need, we get into time management. Now, this is about blocking out the time. This is about scheduling your week, just like, you know, your job schedules out who's working where and all that type of stuff. Like everything's all scheduled out. So I want to say this is my biggest time management is my biggest struggle. Even though I get a lot of stuff done, I don't think I'm as effective or being as efficient, I should say, as I could be. It's a lot of times it's like a mad scramble to get things done. And we all have the same 24 hours in a day. And some of us max the hell out of those 24 hours. And some of us are left like, man, I could have did more. And so I want to max out my 24 hours, but with the same time, not allowing my sleep and my personal time to suffer for me maxing it out. Some days, possibly it will, but overall, I want to make sure I'm getting the right rest. You know, brother getting older, so there are certain things I got to do to take care of myself. So I'm not built like I was in the 20s. Probably the same weight, though. I do need to put on some weight. But anyway, I'm not built the same where I can, you know, hang out and all that other stuff till like 2, 3 in the morning and turn around and go to work at 6. Nah, it's a done deal. If I'm up at 3, I ain't making it work at 6, like that kind of thing. So I have to be more intentional about setting times. Like I have a list of things I need to accomplish in a day, but I don't have the times blocked out to do them. So what a lot of times that'll happen is if you don't have set times for stuff, you'll do it near the end of the day. Now you're trying to catch up and do everything at once, and you wind up not accomplishing what you want to do. You got to be intentional about, just like work is scheduled. You know what time you're going into work kind of thing. You need to do the rest of your life like that. And then, of course, life will throw a monkey wrench in your plans, and then that's when you go back to segment 1 when I said you got to learn how to adapt. So that mindset. So block time to dedicate for, you know, family, work, self-care. Try to stick to these blocks as closely as possible, because if you get into a routine of this, you know, minus the setbacks that could happen, you will get into a rhythm of this, and it will become second nature to you, and it won't be as difficult to stick to it. Like in the beginning, it's going to be very difficult. Like I said, as I put this together, this list, I put this together for me. I just decided to turn it into a podcast episode because I knew blocking time was my biggest struggle. It's like I have the list. I know, like I have step 1. I have my list of my priorities. I just don't have them blocked out. So blocking out is a technique that I'm really going to start doing, and I'm going to try to apply it this week. No, let me rephrase. Watch the words you say. I said try. I will utilize this technique this week, and I definitely keep you guys posted on how it went. So actionable step is blocking out your time. Another actionable step for time management is delegate. All right, E. Delegate and outsource tasks that you can outsource. Of course, some things will be a financial expense to you to outsource. But when possible, try to delegate, like lighten your load, because a lot of time we try to take on a lot. I know I'm really bad at it. Like I try to take on everything myself. And like me shooting this podcast, the best thing is all I have to do is deliver on the mic and in front of the camera. And the rest is taken care of for me. So that's one of those things that like kind of pretty much kind of outsourcing kind of thing where I'm not doing everything. So you got to look at to what do you got going on in your life that you can outsource some things or just delegate to someone else to lighten your load so you can focus more on that priority list that we discussed. So the mindset that you need to have for these steps, and this is by far my biggest problem. No. Utilizing the word no on a daily basis. Like even at my day gig, I'll take on more because I won't say no. Like I like helping people. So that's, a gift and a curse to a certain extent because and people know it. They know Delonzo's going to help, regardless of what it is. He's going to help. You have to get better at saying no, and not be concerned with how that person is going to feel by you saying no. I've done it, say no, but then I list out why I can't do it. I want to get to a point where I say no, and that's it. I ain't got to explain why I can't do it or I'm not going to do it. It's just no and move on. Because I don't say yes and then explain why I can do it. I just say yes. So I want to get to the point of saying no and not explaining why I can't do it. It's just no. Sometimes it is. I just don't feel like it kind of thing. So sometimes it's no because I got other stuff going on. So, and a lot of people know I'm I would say busy. I'm trying to be productive. I don't want to just be busy. I want to be productive. So when they ask me stuff, they know that means I have to take on more workload. So in my mind, I should be able to easily say no because I got a lot going on. You're still asking more from me. So that kind of thing. So just learn to say no because that'll free up time right there alone. Like, especially if it's nothing that's dealing with you. It's like it's totally taking you off what you got going on. Remember that priority list. That's our focus right there. All right. So we got the list going. We got the time management, blocking out time, delegating when needed, and saying no. Now we get to the self-care, the me time part. Now this really is beneficial. Like I know a lot of time when we hear self-care, we think just the women, but self-care is for guys too. It's just not me. It won't look the same. Like, and when I say self-care for guys, I'm not talking about going and get your feet done and nails done. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But it's about just doing things for yourself. Because sometimes we're like we take care of ourselves last. Self-care could be just going to the gym, which I definitely need to get to. Self-care could be just relaxing, reading a book. Self-care can just be playing video games. Like guys are judged, as adult guys, we're judged for playing video games. If that's our escape, that's our escape. We could be in the clubs, kind of thing. But some guys just rather be at home and then throw on the headsets and be on the game. That's, in my mind, that's self-care because that's you doing something just for you. And it may seem selfish, but it's not, because if you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to take care of others, because it's really hard to be there and supportive for other people if you feel completely drained. It's the same as the whole on the plane thing. Like when they say secure your oxygen mask first, because it's hard to take care of others if you're deprived of something. So put on your oxygen mask in life first, then you're better equipped to help others. So that's the self-care for me. That's the self-care. So with self-care, schedule time for yourself. Let your family know, like, hey, this is my time to do me, kind of thing. hell, your self-care could involve your family. Like, who's to say it doesn't? Like, for me, like when I play Madden with Kendrick, that's part of my self-care. It makes me feel good. He be kicking my butt. Like, I win 1 out of every 10 games we play. But that one game is so sweet when I do win. But I enjoy the time. He really enjoys it. He's 18 years old and he loves playing Madden with me. That's a beautiful thing. My main man Dylan, I love my self-care with him as well as him having me watch these crazy cartoons and stuff or anime. He's really into anime and stuff. But it feels good doing it. A lot of times he had me watch those Disney movies. I fall asleep doing them. I try to sneak and fall asleep so he don't see me. I position myself. But it feels good just spending that time. And he feels good. It makes me feel good. So self-care isn't always about necessarily just being to yourself. It's just doing those activities you enjoy that relaxes you. Like, I feel better. I feel more motivated in life when I do those things. You know what's crazy is this podcast is a self-care kind of thing because after I shoot the podcast, I feel energized. Like, a lot of times when I shoot the podcast, I go home, I do stuff with my boys, depending upon, whether it's my week with them or my week off, that dictate how I spend a day after I shoot my podcast. But I feel alive. Like, this really energizes me. So there are things that can be self-care and you not even be aware of it. It's anything that energizes you, motivates you, and relaxes you. So, like, remember how I used to tell you guys that you used to have anxiety doing the podcast? Now, leading up to it, I don't. Obviously, when I shoot the episode, I don't feel it because I'm just being myself. I'm just able to just talk, relax. I tell you guys what's on my mind. That's a relaxing feeling to be able to do this. So this is myself. Like, after this, I have a couple of things I'm going to do. Got a birthday party to go to, spend a little time with my boys. Got a, what else I got going on? Oh, the book. I got 2 books I mentioned. I'll give you guys more details on that in episodes to come. And then I need to go to sleep because I got work 3:30 tomorrow morning. That's how I do the day job. That's why I'm motivated, guys, to get the Daddy Everyday Resource and Community Center open, to really start doing Daddy every day, so that I'm not being at work at 3:30 or 4 o'clock some days. It doesn't bother me, but it'll be nice to sleep in because we definitely won't be doing things at Daddy Every Day at 4 o'clock in the morning. Or will we? We'll see. Stay tuned to that. But those me time type things. So the mindset you need to have that with this is to be guilt free. So after my divorce, anytime I did things that was fun for me, I felt guilty. I felt guilty because, like, I always put it back on, oh man, the marriage failed. My boys are living in 2 separate households. Like, I felt guilty. Like, I would bring that because I'm having fun. I start feeling guilty about it. I eventually realized I needed those moments of joy to help me cope with the fact that, I was, divorced. My kids are, just everything has changed. So once I learned to start just being able to enjoy me time guilt-free, it felt so freeing. And then I really got the benefits of the whole me time self-care thing. So my challenge to you guys is you got to try to embrace that mindset of being guilt-free, of enjoying yourself, of relaxing. Yes, you may have 1,001 things on your to-do list, but you still need that moment where it's just to yourself, to relax, decompress, and just be you and just chill. Like, it's crazy because most people, when they go on vacations, there's a lot of things they want to do. I would have no problem going to any destination and staying in the hotel room the whole time. No problem at all. If you go on vacation with me, I am the wrong person to say, hey, what are we going to get into today? Because I'm already into what I want to get into today. It's just chilling. Maybe I move from the bed. I chill on the couch. Maybe I'll chill on the patio of the hotel. But or maybe I chill at the bar that's connected to the hotel. But I'm the worst person if you trying to be an action-packed vacation. I'm the wrong person because I stay on the move daily. So if I'm on vacation, I don't want to move. So just keep that in mind. If anybody ever want to go on vacation with me, just keep that in mind. I ain't trying to do nothing but chill. Like I like seeing, like, new cities. And if we go to a beach, I don't mind going to a beach, and chill for a couple of hours. But outside of that, outside of getting something for dinner, nah, I just want to chill. So, but don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty for getting rest, for re-energizing yourself. That's how you can tackle the day. Now, for the last segment, this is more towards my parents or individuals that are trying to start a business kind of thing. Like, now you got not only family time, you time, your day job, but then you also got, you know what I mean? I don't even want to call it your side hustle because we got to kind of get out of that mindset because the problem is I treat daddy every day like a side hustle. Like I work it when I need to or work it on occasion. And I treat my main job, obviously, like the main job. But I need to have the mindset of having 2 full-time jobs. I need to work, the day gig, but I need to work daddy every day, like full-time or as close as I can to it. Because if you keep the mindset of being your side hustle, you will always make it to where it's only a side hustle. You won't think big for it because big means more time invested. You're like, no, this is a side hustle. So think about it as just your business. Don't think of it as a side hustle. Think of it as a business so that you can have the right mindset going into it. But so for this step, actionable step is just a detailed business plan. Now, this doesn't have to be a professional business plan, one that you're going to send to people, but it needs to outline like your goals, your milestones, so you'll know you're trending in the right direction. Your financial outlook, like how much is this going to cost me to put into it? Your prices, what you're going to charge, so you can know how much you're going to get out of it, how many clients or customers you need, and things like that. So you need to work it like a business. You need to think of it as a business. Stuff needs to be written down. Stuff needs to be typed up to show the commitment towards treating it like a true business. No side hustle mentality, business. Make sure that you include the family, of course, to let them know. And anything that they can help with, allow them to help with this, to grow in your business. Like, because if you have a family, this is instantly should be a family business kind of thing. They should be involved in this because you're going to be spending time away from them. So they need to have a stake in it as well. And it allows you to give you time to spend more time with them if they're a part of that process kind of thing. So that's the actionable step. Business plan, writing everything down. So when people ask you questions about it, you can speak to it. That's how you can take what was a side hustle and making it a business. Now, the mindset, which I already touched on, is getting your family involved. Like talking things over with your family. A great way to get better perspective. They can take on more of the household chores to allow you to have more time to invest in your business. Telling close friends, and I always say close friends to bounce ideas off of, because not everybody should be included in definitely the beginning stages of a business, because you want to make sure you block out any negativity, because anytime you're striving for something greater, those that aren't will try to knock you down. And some of them do it without even realizing that's what they're doing, because they'll say things like, you sure you want to do that? That's big. Or, man, you ain't got the money to do that. Or, man, when you going? You don't have time to do that. That kind of thing. They may not realize it, but they're trying to stop you from growing. So that's why I say trusted friends that you can bounce ideas off of. Because I have a very tiny circle of people. Because I'm more of, if I tell you I'm trying to do something, I don't want you to tell me the pitfalls. I want you to tell me how we can do it. Like if I said, man, I'm trying to go to the moon, I don't want to hear how that's impossible. I want to hear like, well, damn, we're going to, we're gonna need a lot of gas, man. We're gonna need a lot of fuel. Like, damn, where we gonna get the parts? Like, that's what I need in my life. I need people who are just like, whatever the goal is, but shit, we're gonna make this work then. Like, we're gonna make it happen. So make sure when you're talking your business, it's only to people that want to build. Because not everybody wants to build. Some people like to stay the same. I'm not knocking nobody for that. I only knock people who try to knock down other people for trying to go big. That kind of thing. Like, and everybody can't see your vision. That's what I realized with Daddy Every Day. And in the beginning, it was rough for me because I was like, man, I should be getting more support from my friends. But I was like, well, one, it's not their vision. And for two, I had a lot of single friends who weren't parents. So, like, they don't get that. They don't get the whole father everyday thing or daddy everyday thing and fatherhood and all that type of stuff. So it's kind of hard for them. It's almost like if you're in a band, like if you're in a rock band and all your friends listen to hip hop, it's like they want to support, but like that's not their thing kind of thing. So it's like, know your audience, obviously. And don't knock your friends for not supporting. Just, because you'll get more support. You can't grow until people you don't know support you. That's where your growth is going to go. Like, this podcast has to go beyond just my friends. It has to go to people I don't know. And like a lot of the questions I get for my Q&A sessions or the people who are buying my books are people I don't know, people I've never met, people who don't even live in the same city as me, like hell, the same state as me. Those are the people who that's going to keep you afloat. So if you're starting a business, it's good to have that initial support. That's to get you going, to get the juices flowing, to kind of work out the kinks kind of thing. Like if it's just your friends and family that are, partaking in your services, buying your products, watching your podcast, if it's just them, that's how you can work out the kinks before the masses get to it. So you want to be able to iron out some things before you go to the next level, and the next level being, strangers getting on board on what you're doing. So those are my guide to work, family, and self-care. And, one is identifying your priorities, making a list, understanding that it won't be perfect. There's no such thing as being perfect, but you can strive for it, but just be aware that you will always be en route to it. And that's not a bad thing, that you'll always be chasing perfection, because that just means you're going to keep trying to get better. Number two is time management, blocking out times that you're going to do these activities, your family time, your self-care, the day job, the business you're trying to start, going back to school, your workout routine, making sure it's in those time blocks. And, barring any setbacks, you keep that going. You're going to start that routine, because that's been one of my big downfalls. It's just setting a routine, because there's a lot of, I say setbacks, but a lot of them probably could have been prevented if I would have blocked things out. I could probably recognize things that are going to come up ahead of time instead of them hitting me and just throwing my schedule off. So blocking out the time, that the mindset is being able to say no. Saying no to things that don't push your goals or that's not on your priority list. Because those are the things, those are setbacks. Those are setbacks that you can control because you don't have to participate in it. Excuse me. So learn to say no. Delegate, outsource when possible. That can be family and friends taking care of some things for you. Sometimes it can have to be a financial thing. You have to hire somebody to take care of something for you. If it helps you move things along, that's a wise investment, I say. Number three, creating me time. Like, that's definitely got to be in your blocking schedule, but making sure your family's aware of, hey, this is my time. Take a walk, play my video game, watch this movie, whatever it is that you need to relax, to recharge, then, do that. guilt-free. That's the mindset. It's to be able to be in that moment of your walk or whatever it is that you're doing and to just be guilt-free and just enjoy yourself so you can get refreshed and then you can tackle all the things that we got going on as parents. And the last is, for those that are starting a business, make a business plan. That makes it real. If you're just doing stuff, and I'm not knocking those that are, because I was there at one point, of just doing things and like, oh, I got a business going here. I'm doing this. I'm selling this. I got this service. But you don't have it like written out with like goals, your milestones. You're never going to take it to that next level because you feel like that success is because you have a couple of customers now. No, to take it to the next level, you have to write it down. Write it down, type it up, those type things so that you can reference it. You can make adjustments as you start to grow. You can see where your shortcomings are if you write out a business plan kind of thing. So write it out. And the mindset is to just get your family involved, family and friends that are that you can trust, that are motivating. Those are the things that are going to get you through taking your business to the next level and hopefully soon going from working your business in your spare time to like that being your main thing. Like, so that's what Daddy Every Day is all about. That's what I'm trying to get to, that level where like me shooting the podcast, me doing workshops is what my life is. Like that's all I got going on. That's how I make my money. Like that's where my goal is so that I don't have to do, like I can only imagine the 40 plus hours I spend at my day job, if that was all spent creating podcasts or all spent at the my center that I hope to open, that I will open. And so like all that time will be spent there or spent doing workshops, spent doing more guest appearances, like all that time that I dedicate daily at the day job will be spent doing Daddy Every Day. So that's my goal right there. Like I be at work sometimes just thinking about it. Like I spend those 8 hours, sometimes, more. And like all this time I could be working with fathers. I could be putting together events for families to get together, creating those bonding opportunities and moments that, their kids won't forget. Like I'm at work. That's what gets me through the work day. The work can suck. A lot of times it's the people that make the job suck. And just knowing that I will be doing that for a living. Like I'll be creating things that's going to change families. That's going to motivate dads to step up and do more as a father, to get out there and to be more of a leader in their community, to create moments for kids and platform for dads to better their kids, to spend more time with their kids, to help develop them into, adults who will eventually have kids of their own. And based on the experiences they had coming to Daddy Every Day events, they're going to want better for their kids. Like this thing that I'm doing with Daddy Every Day is to change generations. Like, and I want to start right now with the fathers now and the mothers too. Obviously, a lot of times I'm going to just focus on fathers, but like Daddy Every Day is going to do things, for mothers too, but the focus will always be with fathers. But the goal is to have better, to make life better for our kids. Like I do things like the workshops I do, or the workshops I even attend, I want to improve as a father. Like there's still things I feel like maybe I'm coming up a little short in and I want to get better, especially when I'm now going through new territory. Like I've had a middle schooler before, so when Dylan gets there, I'm ready for that because I know that's where Kendrick, as smart as he was, he tried to slack off in middle school. We had to get him back on course, and now he's like an A student in high school. So I'm ready for that with Dylan. Like, so we're ready to navigate that. But now Kendrick going to college is new territory for me. So this is where I would get advice from fathers who've already navigated this. And that's what Daddy Every Day I want to do with Daddy Every Day is to create something that we learn from one another. Like maybe a lot of times I'll be doing the talking, but I want to be able to allow other fathers to share their experiences that other fathers can learn from, or I can learn from. So that's why I got to start treating Daddy Every Day like a side hustle and treat it like it's the main thing. So that's my episode. Thank you guys. Definitely check out daddyeveryday.org for all my information. All the social media is on there. Links to the bookstore, links to the clothing store is on there. Ways to donate to the community center is on there, and everything else. Links to this podcast, which you guys should subscribe to on Evan Vision. Make sure you hit the notifications. Any upcoming events, I'm going to start posting there. I need to start doing some workshops, more speaking engagements. Like I've been really slacking on that, and that's me. The opportunities are there. It's more me taking advantage of them. So thank you guys for tuning in, for your support, for those who purchased the hoodies, my books. I am forever thankful. Keeps me motivated. I mean, every single sale that I get, every time someone tell me they enjoyed the podcast, it fuels me. From the day one when someone said they watched my podcast, or from day one when I sold a book to even now, or we're talking, I'm 10 years in the game as an author, and one book sale excites me. And I get book sales every month, and royalty checks coming in. So I'm thankful, but every one is special to me. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Tune in again next week. Appreciate you guys. Take care.